Morning. It's Wednesday, July 28th, and today I'll do some current events. But before I go over to the Y for current events, I'm going to tell you something that's bothering me. I'm looking at the situation in Afghanistan right now, where we are pulling our troops out. And rightfully so, after 20 some odd years, it was time to get out. We definitely lost that war, and we lost lives. Many lives, far too many lives. And it looks like all our time and effort that was spent in Afghanistan has gone to waste. Because right now, the Taliban probably control half the country. They have not sat down with the current government to negotiate a peaceful arrangement. They are just marauding through the countryside and picking up districts left and right. President Biden has promised Prime Minister Ghani of Afghanistan that we would remain in his corner and help where we can. Now, I don't know how we can help. We are thousands of miles away, and we've withdrawn most of our troops. So how can we possibly help? Afghanistan has a long history of being conquered by other nations, but they never truly lost. And I'm going back to 500 BC, when Darius of Babylonia conquered them, and then Alexander the Great of Macedonia in 329 BC, and then Muhammad of Ghazni, an 11th century conqueror. But it wasn't until the 1700s that the area was considered a single country. And then, of course, there were many Arab conquerors, and Islam had taken root in the country by 1870. And during the 19th century, Britain, looking to protect its Indian empire from Russia, attempted to annex Afghanistan, and they failed, resulting in the British-Afghan wars that went on from 1838 to 42, and then 1878 to 1880, and then 1919 to 1921. It seems like all of these foreign countries are trying to conquer Afghanistan, to no avail. And then, of course, the Russians had it. And then we stepped in over the last 20 years to do what we could do. And they all failed. Afghanistan is not a place that can be conquered. It's not a place that's stable. I don't know why we went there in the first place. It was George Bush who got us there because of 9/11. I'm not sure what the Afghanistanis had to do with 9/11, except maybe they were giving shelter to Osama bin Laden. But anyhow, we spent 20 years there. And now we have President Biden saying, we'll help you out. Don't worry, we'll help you out. And what kind of help can we do? Are we going to send more troops there to help them out? I don't think so. So we're going to give them $100 million to take care of certain things. And who's going to manage that money? And how is that money going to be spent? And is it going to be worth $100 million? Are we going to get anything really for our money? And what I mean by getting something for our money is that we are going to make the lives of the Afghani people better. And the only way their lives are going to be better is if they can hold off the Taliban. And that doesn't seem possible because for whatever reason, the Afghanistan people cannot form an army to defend themselves. Is that because many of them really don't mind being conquered by the Taliban? I'm sure their women hate it because of the way the Taliban treat women. So I can't imagine in my wildest dream how we can possibly help this country. How can we possibly help A quick look at what happened. Violence has risen sharply in Afghanistan since we announced our withdrawal plan. The Taliban started launching offensives almost immediately, taking districts and important border crossings, and surrounding or closing in on several provincial capitals. So what did we do? Nothing. Essentially, by leaving, we have left Afghanistan with a pile of junk. I don't know how Biden can possibly say that the United States will remain diplomatically engaged in support of a durable and just political settlement. That's not going to happen in Afghanistan. So why is he saying that? He should just say, you're on your own, guys. Figure it out. We'll send you arms and stuff. And the UN is worthless. What is the UN going to do? They're not going to do anything because probably half of the people in the UN are in favor of the Taliban. Really take a good hard look at this thing. The only thing that we can really do is give money. So we authorized $100 million from an emergency fund, unexpected urgent refugee needs, because of the terrible situation we left Afghanistan in. And we also authorized the release of another $200 million in services and articles for the same needs from some other emergency. And then, of course, the State Department condemned the targeted attacks on former interpreters and other Afghans, as well as the destruction of the Afghan infrastructure. Big deal. So we yelled at them. Is that going to stop them? No, as far as the overall country is concerned. We are bringing, however, Afghans who worked with us in the country to the safety of the United States. And that's roughly 2,500 to 3,000 Afghans who can be brought to this country to save their lives. And the first group of Afghan evacuees and their families is expected to be flown before the end of the month to Fort Lee, the U.S. military base in Virginia, where they'll wait for the final processing of their visa applications. And I think that's as good as we could possibly do. In my mind, we pissed away probably $20 billion. And we gain nothing, and we leave that area probably in the same mess that it was in when we started this thing 20 years ago. So I leave you with that this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.